Hello, YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor. Uh, Sorry, guys. I didn't get a video out last week, but I got in here and lost track of all the time, and I was just going, assholes and elbows to get the main stuff done, and we have. But before we get into all that, we're going to kind of touch base here real quick on a few things, just to reiterate kind of what I've gone over probably many, many times. And that is who I am, what I'm about, the end goal for this shop, for my hobby, even though it's not just my hobby, but our hobby. Anybody that's been following me for the past 3 years, basically, on the old YouTubes, we're at a place on YouTube where we've shifted our focus and our goals to kind of scratch it all and start over, I guess, be the best way to do it. Many of you know this is like the 4th time I've redone this shop. And the main question probably would be, are you happy with it now? Is it what you want? Is it what you wanted it to be? And the answer would be yes. Finally. And you and only you would know what makes you comfortable and would inspire you to come in here. I get people to come in here off and on through the year, and they're blown away, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is awesome! I couldn't imagine what I could do." And I get that because I do the same thing when I go in other people's shops. I'm like, "Holy crap, this is amazing! This is what I want." And I kind of take bits and pieces and formulate it into my own madness in here. But now, after everything is said and done, to give you an idea, my openness is 8 foot wide by about 18 feet long. It's wide open. And you may say, well, why do you need all that wide open space? Anybody that knows, that's been following, would know my end game is to, well, let's start here, I guess. I'm 60 years old as of next month. I've been building since I was 7, so it's 53 years of craziness in this head that I would love to pay it forward. And paying it forward would be youth coming in here, learning all the skills and traits and the basics of model building. Get them inspired into the hobby and want to continue with the hobby, and then one day maybe they'll pay it forward to the next generation, so to speak. So my end goal was always to have that. So if we go back a few years, this shop was originally built. It was half model room, half man cave. And that was awesome. It was nice to have my own little space, but it slowly but surely started creeping in on me, and you get that feeling of the walls closing in on you, and that's my ADHD, my OCD. I am on the spectrum a little bit as far as I don't never know the right term to use. A little bit autistic, I guess. I'm not severely autistic, but I am on the spectrum, and I have been since I was a young kid. I've learned how to deal with it my own way, how to function in society, and my main goal is mind over matter. You can do anything you want as long as you put your mind to it and you don't give up. My dad always had a saying, a quitter never wins and a winner never quits. And I never grasped the importance of that phrase until later in life, where you had that aha moment, like, holy crap, that's what my dad always tried to beat in my head over these years, that, quit giving up on things, because a quitter never wins. And winners never quit, because they always strive to keep winning. I'm not always striving to win. I'm always striving to do better. So you can flip that phrase around a little bit. But that is kind of what drives me now to, I guess, at this day and age, or this point in time, where before it was a hobby, I'd just grab a model, I'd start it, and I'd get bored with it, I'd put it away. That's where the aha moment came, where, if you guys remember, I thought I only had maybe 8, 9, maybe a dozen kits I had started and hadn't finished yet. After going through the shop, Guess what, guys? We got about 20 kits. So I'm worse off than I thought I was. But out of that 20 kits, probably about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, close to 10 are less than a few days to finish them up. So that's going to be our primary goal this year, all the way between now and this time next year, is trying to get at least those 10 done and in display cases or display cabinet or whatever. Get them done. That way it's going to free up space, and you're going to get to take a look at that here in a minute. What I guess if you're new to modeling, the one thing I can say is no matter where you work at on your model, you don't have to have a big room like I have. You don't. You can very easily open a TV tray and sit at that TV tray and build one model and be done with it, and have something and put up on your shelf. That's a very easy way of doing it. When you get to my level, it's, I guess the truth would be is I want, and that supersedes I need, and then you end up with this catastrophe. So be very careful when you get into this hobby. Start off. The true saying is the more expensive it is, the better it is, and that is true. But my main theme is balling on a budget. There is ways to achieve greatness at a way cheaper price. A lot of guys touch on that. They devote a lot of time to that, explain how they do it, and I'm really no different. My methods may be a little different than theirs, which, if you're watching, that may help you, and I'm grateful if it does. I'm not so much focused on like these guys on YouTube that's got 4, 5, 6,000 or more followers that really go crazy on their editing. It's build, a time lapse from beginning to end, or it's a 7 or 8 part series, and it's just me building. I've tried that, and I get lost in it, and it just doesn't sit right with me. So I've kind of given up on that aspect of it. I do like doing a how-to video every once in a while, and you'll see that from me from time to time. If you look back through all my videos, there's a few on there that show you how I, polish a body out, how I prep the body for paint, how I paint, all those little things, glues I use, just different products, tools, so on and so forth. But really, guys, all you need is a good pair of tweezers, a good set of paintbrushes, tools-wise, a good pair of clippers, some sanding sticks, some sanding paper, some polish, no different what you'd use on a car, and you can achieve a beautiful model. Paints are to each their own. What you're comfortable working with, what works for you. That's the key thing. You don't have to have 50 different pairs of pliers. I do, but also I have multiple workstations. So I have stuff at each workstation. That way I don't have to go rummaging around and looking for a certain pair of pliers. Everything I need is pretty much right there. If it's not there, then it's in one specific place now where I can go right there and get it. When I'm done with it, I can put it right back away and it stays organized. If anybody's ever done a big build, I call big builds is where you're doing full detail. You're adding all that intricate stuff to make it look as real as possible. You'll find yourself getting into a big mess, and you'll have lots of stuff left over, stuff that needs to, and then get excited and you get into your next build and you don't get nothing put away. Well, that's what's happened to me over the past few years, and this time around I've made it a goal to not get ahead of myself, but get my shop into a space where I can work in it, and I can split my day up into organizing, cleaning, putting stuff away, and organizing. I think I just said that, but getting stuff put away permanently in a place I know where it's at, versus just stacking it up and then it falls over and you got a big mess, and every time you go to look for a part you can't find it. That's what I'm trying to get away from. So now, where the way the shop is laid out now, I can. Is that going to ever hamper me from starting something and not finishing it and then getting into something else? Probably not, because everybody gets burned out or stalled out on something they're working on, and then you look at something and you're like, oh wow, I have everything for that, I can go ahead and do that, and then the mediocre build turns into a full-blown big build, and then maybe you do finish it, maybe you get 3/4 of the way and you lose interest in that one, then you start another one. Those are all things I don't say that I won't do. I'm going to try to avoid doing that, but it's possible. So, but now we're flowing really nice. It's open. It smells good in here now. A lot of people want to know, why did you redo your shop? Well, last winter I restored a bicycle, a vintage tricycle, an adult tricycle, and I didn't want to do it out in the garage because the lighting isn't as good as it is in here. All my equipment's in here, so I decided to do it in here. That was a big no-no. It destroyed my shop. I had dust all over everything, just parts here, parts there, sandpaper laying everywhere, tools scattered everywhere. It was an absolute mess, and it took away from me working on models last winter, to where I didn't get a lot done, and that doesn't sit right with me, because I try to plan stuff out and the time frame I have, and try my best to get it done, and it doesn't always work that way, but it damn sure didn't work last year. So now we've got some free time. Last video will explain that if you're not sure what I'm talking about. That will keep me building a little bit through the summertime too, where I didn't build at all through the summer. Now I will be able to. Having the shop organized now to I'd say we're about 90% organized. We still got about 5%, and that's broke down into a lot of little things, but we can tackle those little things one each day, and in no time at all I'll have the shop completely done and organized, and not have to worry about, I gotta go down there, I gotta do this today, I was wanting to get this done on this build. I can just come down here and focus on a build, which will be awesome. And I have evenings to do it now. We're empty nesters, like I said in the last video, so I'm not having to every day deal with house life as far as messes being made, because a granddaughter lives here, a daughter lives here, and what messes me and my wife make. It's very simplified. I can clean the house one day just in a couple hours and not have to touch it again the rest of the week. Maybe a light sweep, light mop type thing. So that frees up a lot of time. That normally I would just sit on the couch twiddling my thumbs and nothing to do. Well, now I can come down here and feel good about the space, I can feel good about the organization, and I can really dig into it and get going. So I guess we'll start right here. Turn you around, voice. So now our 3D printing station was over here. Now it's here. Everything to do with 3D printing. All my printers are all hooked up now. I still have to ventilate this one, and I got a learning curve. I got to learn how to operate this machine, so that'll take a couple days with Norman on the phone. Then I can start printing. This is a big printer. This is even bigger than my original, so I can print full bodies and stuff like that on this, or big figures, whatever it may be. I've got my little workhorse that prints all my small stuff, cleaning station, and then our original one that I need to see if I can't get it back online working, because I'm nowhere near the hours that their life expectancy has. But I definitely got something wrong, and I'm still on the premises that it may be human error, because again, I'm not educated 100% in these things. I just wing it, and then I talk to people and try to figure it out, see if they can figure it out. So, we got some work to do on this one, which we'll tinker with little by little. I would like to have it to where I can have all 3 printers running at one time, and next day come down and clean them, organize the parts. And if you're wondering, now we got all of our organization up here for all our parts from 3D printer. I still got a little pile here I need to get put away into containers. I am going to need to get another set of these, and those will go up here. These are all of our unbuilt, started but not finished kits. Like I said, there's about 20 of them up there. So as these get built, that'll clear this space out, and hopefully we don't have to worry about putting no more up there. That's the end goal. That way I can run these organized boxes, whatever you want to call them, little cabinets, all the way across there. And as we stockpile our parts that we make and all that, we'll put up there. And then over here, I want to leave this shelf open for if I do go to a show and I get any more hardware, I have a place to put those. And then the ledge behind me, this will be for when I make, when I print full kits. I have boxes that I got to put together, and those full kits will go in those boxes. Some I may do 2 or 3 prints of for future plans. I may sell one, I don't know. I may trade one away for something else. That's all open, but that's what this space will be designed for, is to stack them up in a little, I don't have time today, but I'd show you the little boxes that I have. Those will all be organized there. And eventually, maybe another drawer like this will go next to it over here to put any, what do you call it, like bodies, chassis, or anything like that that would require a bigger space to store them. Will go underneath here. So then we've got our tray here. This is all for the cleaning station, and a bottle of resin that's open that we need to use up. I have another one down there that I use for tires. That's just black resin. I need to go through that before it goes bad. And it's probably already bad, but I've used bad resin before and still had success printing with it. Our little bottle of alcohol we use to clean little parts before we put them away. That's our main cleaning station, which I'm saving pennies now because I need to clean this out and replace all the alcohol. As you guys know, this stuff's expensive. It's not cheap. So once I get that, and then I gotta get some more film I spray on my FEPs to keep them from sticking. I need to get a new can of that. So, it's going to take a little bit of money, and that requires me to save money. The balling on the budget. But up here, now we've got our photo booth, and then we got a bunch of paperwork. That's one thing we need to do. Get all the paperwork gone through and then put into the filing 2 file boxes we have here. This box, when I'm done with my son's figure, I'll go back into that box and go back to him. So that'll open up that space. We have extra this stuff here, checkerboard. I have some body film like you wrap a car with there. I've been wanting to try to wrap a model body in that and see how it works. Some old blueprints and stuff like that are rolled up here. I need to find a spot to put those in. But then we have our cabinet, which I'll open it real quick. Now it does all extra paints, tools, chemicals, automotive paints. There's some tools down there, pieces of the wiring harnesses for these lights. So that's all kept in there now, which I like. And my apron hangs from that. And then I have a box here that I dispose of after a certain amount of time. All my 3D resin, paper towels, junk parts, the supports all go down in this, and then I just throw the whole box away because it's contaminant. You don't want it touching anything else. So I have that there. My roll of paper towels, all 3D printing equipment, tools, supplies are all kept in these 3 drawers. This has got all my LED lights and sponges and stuff I use for cleaning or whatever it may be here. Spray booth filters. I use this to thin It's just washer fluid. I use it to thin my acrylic paints and craft paints. Some Purple Power, a little wireless speaker. I don't use that anymore. If I'm out working on a car, I'll take it out there with me and I can listen to music while I'm working on a car. Our shop vac, a nightmare of wiring, and then we've got our compressors, a backup one, which is the blue one, and then our main one, which is the silver one. And then it comes up in here into the spray booth, which has all been redone, new lights added, everything's hooked up. The only thing I got to do is ventilate that 3D printer and we're ready to go, which will take me maybe 15, 20, 30 minutes to run the pipe over and tie it into the exhaust from the spray booth. Our dehydrator, all of our buffing, waxing stuff, all of our paints, all splash paints here, Gravity, Mr. Color, MCW, they're all right here. Createx is all in this rack. We got an extra rack for anything in the future. We got extra space for more paints if we ever get it. A backup workspace right here in case I ever need it, which I'm going to try to avoid that. Our mixing station, our paint shaker, our leveling thinners are right here because I use that a lot for everything. And then I always use a piece of glass when I'm mixing paints. That way if it spills on there, I can just pick up a piece of glass and use paint thinner and clean the glass off or scrape it with a razor blade. And I don't have to worry about getting paint spilled on the painted surface of the desk. Everything to do with painting, airbrush tools, extra airbrushes, parts for airbrushes, pipettes, mixing cups, jars, tapes, all that stuff's kept in here. A little broom, dustpan, LED parts, styrene, sheets, sandpaper, all of our hoses and whatnots for detailing models, our travel stuff for shows. If I travel on an airplane, I have a carry-on case right here to put about 5 models in. The door for my refrigerator, we don't have a spot to hang it yet, so I just got it tucked back in there. So I do have a little space on there for a few small stickers, so we'll add them to that, and then we'll get it hung up somewhere in the shop here eventually. Tools, all kinds of tools that I don't need all the time, but they're there when I do need them. I know where they're at now. Shop tools, supplies in these drawers, those have to be organized and cleaned out. All the drawers you see down through there, those all need to be organized and cleaned out. This is our final drawer. This goes under the paint booth. It's got just stuff for airbrushing in it. We've got unbuilt kits down here now. Our large scale kits and JDM stuff down here. Underneath there is all unbuilt kits. Diorama supplies. This is going to be for a diorama, this tabletop here. And then you can see we moved the grill over to this wall. That's Cecilia the villain. It's not focusing. I'll zoom in. You can kind of see that diorama will come down to this shelf here in the center. In the center. This one's for Gaster Nights. All this stuff goes bye-bye. And then up top will be Ghostbusters, because the buildings will be tall on that one. So I need the extra space for that. Those shelves, still, when I take all that stuff off there, I'll paint those shelves then. I don't want to mess with that now, because most all that goes away, those 2 shelves anyways. Stacked up in the corner is all diorama supplies, 3D resin kits that I've printed, and all that, and bag kits are all in these containers, all stacked up from the floor all the way up to there. You see some of those I'll be thinning through. They just won't be in boxes. Everything for the one diorama we're working on right now, and the miniatures I'm painting for my son. There's the stuff for Ghostbusters diorama. There, our trash can now, our space heater, all my packing supplies, shipping supplies are all in this paint rack. So you can see all the floors all wide open all the way up here to my legs. We also have now a designated computer area. Where do we go? Right there. That's where I do all my stuff, setting up the files for 3D printing, any laptop work I got to do, printing, all that. The printer's out in the family room, but so I can just send it to the printer and it'll print it out and I can go get it. I eventually probably will bring the printer back in here. We have cleared out all the boxes with all the spare parts in it, and you can see, let me bring it back out. That's a big tub full of parts and a tub next to it full of parts. We're going to empty all these drawers out into those, and then we'll start going through there and organizing and filling these drawers up, and then that'll give me space to put more of these storage type things here, all the way up to that outlet right there where my finger is. Excuse me. So I can get all this organized. That's what we'll work on just a little bit each day until we get it all done. Minding every day we're going to do that. There won't be a day go by that I don't try to organize some of that. Sorry guys, my throat's dry. So let me move this drawer out of the way here, and then we'll take it around. I'm going to be lazy and I'm going to sit and scoop. This TV also is going to come out of here. I'm building an outdoor kitchen bar at our campground, and this is going to go up on the back wall of that. We have a lot of friends that have families, young kids, so when we're trying to do adult things, this will give kids the availability to sit up at the bar, watch TV, play video games, whatever, and keep them occupied while the adults are talking and hanging out. So that'll be nice there. And I will put a smaller TV back in. Not sure yet where I'll put it. If I'll put it back up on this wall, probably. That way I can watch it from any part of the shop I'm in. It just won't be as big. I'll probably put a 46 inch or something like that, or a 52 inch up there, and get rid of that. I think there's a 65 or 70 inch flat screen. And then we moved our decorations from over here to here. And now we got our tail clip from a Kia Stinger up on the wall. Finally got it all waxed, hung up, put my custom tag on it, put that shelf up above the diorama table. We added the lights underneath, we added lights above, we had these lights above. Excuse me guys. It's very dry in here right now with the space heater going, and that affects my sinuses. But now you can see we got our building materials here, all of our little like AK paints, Vallejo, whatever, Model Masters, metallizers, all that is going up here. And then I still got to put all those back in there. And there's one color, but there's 3 shades of each color. So you can paint your base tone, your mid-tone, or base tone is your dark, mid-tone, and then your highlight color, all within the same shade of like blue, green, yellow, whatever it may be. Those all get organized back up there. And right now they're in, you can kind of see right where my finger's pointing. That's plumb full. The box to the left of it is plumb full. And then this box is just filled with little pieces of sandpaper. So when I'm sanding something, I just reach in there and grab what grit I need and I can use it. The diorama table has really not changed. And here's the speakers, so that surround sound, they got to go out of here too. There's the door that comes into the shop. Here you can see my shop cars. I had to move quite a few of them. We're going to get all those back up. We've got our display case right here now, filled with models, decorations on top, pictures, Hot Wheels collect. Got Hot Wheels hanging up there. Let's see. Roll over here now. Turn the space heater off. And you look down here, then we still have our styrofoam sheets, our foam board, pieces of wood underneath here. We have 2 drawers with tools, filled with tools. And those don't really they need cleaned out a little bit and organized a little bit better, but they're okay for now. We've got the F100 back on the build table. We're going to get this done, and then we're going to finish up Ernst's figure, which is back there. He's almost done. And you can see, I'll zoom in. I want to talk about how those paints work. You have a dark color, a mid-tone, and then a light. So that gives you the that three-dimensional look by using those colors. So basically all we have left is his face and his hair and his shoes, which you can't see, and he'll be done, and I'll get him sent off to Ernest after a year. And then we got some new shelves we put in here. Got all of our craft paints over here so I can see what I need. Paintbrushes, new paintbrushes, two-sided tape, paper towels. There's the Kingdom of Death miniature set for my son. I think there's 7 or 8 figures, like 3 monsters. The monsters have already been put in primer. They're ready to be painted, so that'll be the first thing I do on those. And then I got to assemble. This is like a model kit. There's just a zillion parts in there to create 7 figures the way you want them. Different poses, so on and so forth. So we'll get that done. And then the big figure that goes in that box up there, he is in the drawer over here. One of these 2 drawers here, he's in there. So we got to get him painted. And then I can have that done. Ernest's figure is done. The F100 is done. We got the my model club, the yearly build we do. That's what I'll be building, is the Chop T. That'll be the first rat rod I've ever built. It'll have a lot of parts added to it, but not like I normally do. So we'll be changing the seats around a little bit, some detail parts for the engine, and that's pretty much it. Maybe tires and wheels. And then, because I got about a month to build that. So we got to get going on that here soon. So I need to get this finished up here. Probably by mid next week, end of next week, have this done. And then I can get started on this. That should go pretty fast. And then we'll start pulling down started but not finished kits and knocking them out before we start on anything brand new. I may be getting one kit that I want to kind of start on right away. I've been really excited about it, but we'll see how it goes. But again, you guys can kind of see. So if I roll around here and we look back the other way now, you can kind of see how all the center of the floor is wide open. So right where I'm at now, if I want to set up a temporary table, I can, with a couple chairs like this right here. So a couple people can work in here at the table. Maybe some newbies, as I call them, beginners, and have a place to work at. And I can just take that down when they leave and put it away and get it out when they come in and still have room to get around everything and so on and so forth. We have a diorama that's going right here, which is the gas station and garage kind of combo. That'll pretty much take up a big chunk of this table. And then a future diorama will go right here once all this stuff kind of can get matriculated down here, or after I get dioramas done, because a lot of this is diorama stuff, like you see for the gas station, blah, blah, blah. I can get those in there and free up a space to start a diorama. I don't want to keep shuffling stuff around when I don't have space for it, because that's what I did for the past few years, and we ended up with the mess we have. Then again, there's that 32 grill, more decorations, and then up here we have all unbuilt kits. That's a lot. And then we've got a display case. It's like a garage. It's got a light in it, and we've got a few models in that. And then we got light underneath, so you can kind of just ponder around real quick and see what I've done. This does stick out into the shop a little bit, but once I get rid of these speakers, that won't be a factor there anymore. My trash can will actually probably come out here and go right there, because I do have, I want to scoot this over this way a little bit and then put this space heater back against that wall where the trash can is now. So that's about the only change we'll make there. So yeah, you guys can let me know down in the comments what you think. Put you here facing a nice little stinger tail clip. When I worked at Kia, the body shop, the guy that works in there gave that to me. He thought it'd be really cool to hang up in here. And then I had that custom plate made by the decal lady, which you'll find her on Instagram. She made that full-size custom plate that I put on all my models when I'm done building them. So it was nice to put that up there finally, get that done. I had it tacked up here temporarily, But when I got that all polished out and hung up, I was like, I got to put this on there. So I did, and I love it. Just let me know, guys. Remember, I love when you flood my comments, asking questions, your comments on everything, just saying hi. My email is always in the descriptions. So if you want to do a shop card trade, I do have shop cards. I'll trade a shop card for a sticker, or trade shop card for a shop card. I don't have stickers. No plan to get them anytime soon. Maybe down the road, but right now, no. I'm still without my editor. It's been a year. She still hasn't got her computer fixed. So, but life has got a hold of her, and she's super busy working 2 or 3 jobs, paving her way through the world. So it's hard for her to get time to do it, which I understand. And like I said, I'm not focusing on all the bells and whistles anymore. My videos from here on out will be what I'm working on, progress on those, maybe an open box review from time to time, and some how-tos. And that's pretty much what you're going to get out of me, along with a lot of talking, as you can tell. So I hope you guys like it as much as I do. I'm really super happy with the way it looks now. I can be in any corner of the shop, and I don't feel closed in, because all I got to do is just scoot back a little bit, and I'm wide open. I'm not in a tight little confined area trying to work. And whether I'm working here organizing stuff, I can just sit here and open one drawer and go through that drawer and then go right to building. Next day I come down and do the next drawer. And then after 2 or 3 days, those drawers are done. I can just keep building. I don't have to divide my time up, or at least until all the little parts are put away. Then I'll be able to do that, of course. But right now, I went outside and a leaf fell into my shirt. I've got it to where I want it, to where each day I can come in and work in a little area and organize things, and then move on to the building part of the day. Or if I'm working on the diorama, which we do need to get that down, and I want to get all the base down, get the perimeter of it wrapped and painted, get all the wiring done, and then I can start adding all the final details to finish up the diorama. And really, if I put a lot of time into that, probably a month or 2 straight devoted time, I could have it done. But we're going to break that up over the next couple of years. Along with, we'll be starting another diorama too. So by having the shelves open will allow me to work on them and then put them back up there until I'm ready to work on them again, which is nice. Instead of, oh my God, where am I going to put this because it's so big, I don't have anywhere to put it. Well, now they designated shelves for them, and they'll go in their designated spot. But I got to get rid of the stuff on the 2 shelves first. That'll really enable me to do a lot. And then we got probably half a dozen of little projects that we need to get done. Figure out what we're going to do. I do have something coming up over the next year or 2, which will be, I'm going to build a model out of scrap parts. Picking out a body, making a chassis fit that and work for that, adding the suspension components to it from various different kits. It will be a box stock build, so to speak, using nothing but parts from boxes. Aftermarket parts won't be a thing unless I absolutely have to have it for the construction of it. Other than that, I probably maybe plugs and wire, or plug wires and distributor. That would be the only thing that goes into it aftermarket. All the decals will come from my surplus of decals if I put any on it. But all the interior parts, the suspension parts, the engine parts will all be from various different models. I've been wanting to try that for a long time. And it's not hard when you got a surplus of parts that I have to Frankenstein something together and have a nice model. So that's something that's on the horizon, I should say. Right now I got about half a day's worth of finished cleaning in here, getting my tools put back out in the garage where they go. Some miscellaneous stuff that's got to get put away still. But overall, we're, like I said, about 90% done. The rest of it is just going to be coming over time each week. And I'll keep you posted on that if you're interested in it. where we're at, what I've done, if anything like that. We've got a lot of projects, and we got not a lot of time, but we got more time than we did. So we can kind of get focused back into the main goals of the shop, and bringing you guys some new content, hopefully. I do have something in the works. I'm waiting to receive the information from them. I'm very skeptical, and I'll explain that here real quick. I want to keep this video under 45 minutes. So everybody knows who they are. Alpha Models. I've been after them for years, trying to get them to sponsor the channel. And this isn't really a sponsorship, but as a way that I can pay it forward, and in return get something that I've always wanted, which is an Alpha Model Kit. You guys know they're pricey. They're not cheap, but they're a super highly detailed kit. And most of them are all exotic, like Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, Audi. A lot of race car driven kits. Just, some Japanese kits in there. But all, the higher end sports cars. Sorry. So they contacted me finally. I got shut down I don't know how many times. But this is the thing, guys. So this will give you something to think about. For those of you that truly follow me and you like what I do and what I talk about, if you can find it in your heart and your wallet, keep in mind, I don't want you to do anything that you can't afford to do. And I know a lot of you can't afford to do it. So, that's why I said this is kind of, it may never come to reality, but I would love for it to, at least for a while. And what that is Alpha Models wanted me to sell their models. But I would have to create a web page, and I have to pay for that and maintain it, and I have to get somebody to design the website. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to, I know Matthew did it, and he's 3D printing, and he's selling now, and that's just a lot of work. And, he's still got a fairly young family, and he works. And that, to me, trying to juggle all that, I just don't have time for all that. So I told him, I said, I don't have a website. I wouldn't really be able to do that. And they were understanding, and they said, well, you can send your followers to our website. I was like, okay, well, that might work. I was like, well, but, what does that mean for me, in the long term? So the way it was broken down to me, and until I get the final information, which I'll keep you posted on, means that, so say, for every video I do, there'll be a link down below where you can go to their website. And if you purchase a model from them, there'll be a link, or a link for you to go to, and a code to use. That's how they'll track for me. So if I sell 6 kits, I get 1 free kit. I can build. Now that would be a good goal in itself, but that's one-sided. That would be only for me. So I thought about, well, how can you beef that up a little bit to make it more lucrative for people that normally wouldn't buy one of those, that would be interested in buying one? And he said, well, for every 12 kits, we'll give you 2 kits. I was like, well, okay. So my paying it forward out of that, because I'm not making any money on this deal, is if we can get 12 of you to go to the website and buy a model. They vary. I've seen them as low as $80 and as high as hundreds. The higher detail kits are, of course, more expensive. The average is around $150, $160 plus shipping. You may even get free shipping. I don't know. I didn't get that far into their website. But they've got a crap ton of models, and I've researched them for 7-8 years now, and they only get better. Their customer service is, bar none, one of the best I've ever seen. As far as if you get caught on something, you can't figure out where it goes, how it goes together, their customer support is amazing. The quality is top notch. You get everything you need to build a highly detailed, quality piece of art to put on your shelf. I can't describe it any better than that. Most of you have ever built a Tamiya kit, you love how they go together, and they're really simplistic, and they everything fits together great, and at the end it's a beautiful model. Magnify that times 10. That's alpha models. But what I'm going to do is, if we do in increments of 12, which that's asking a lot, I know, but keep in mind, I'll go two ways on this, so maybe it helps you understand it more and you get past that initial sticker shock of like, oh, I just can't do that. No, I won't do that type thing. Let me enlighten you a little bit, which you may already be aware of. This is just for people that aren't. If you go out in today's time, present time included, and you buy 5 model kits, and a lot of you do buy 3, 4, 5 or more at a time, you just paid more than what one of these kits would cost. Now, granted, you got 5 models out of it, but now you got to buy all those aftermarket parts and 3D printed parts from other people, and to build it to equal a highly detailed kit as what you're getting from Alpha. So think of the money that you're going to spend on top of those 5 kits to really build them. Unless you're just a bone stock guy. Right out of the box, that's how you build them. You don't do anything to them, and that's fine. Alpha models may not be the model for you then. Or if you do one every great once in a while, it's no different. It's a box stock kit. I'm going to give away one for every 12 that we sell. And by me selling, I'm just the middleman. You're the purchaser. You go to their website. You track through their website. Everything's done through them. I'm not handling any of that. So once you go there and you buy your model, it's same as if I wasn't involved. You go to Alpha and buy a model. They ship it to your house, and you're happy, and you start building it. I'm just the middleman. But what that does is enables me to build one, which I've always wanted to do. It's just, I'm in the same boat. Dishing out that $160, that's kind of not against what I want to do, but it's something I would really have to save up for a while. And even if you guys have to save up, I mean, we're talking no time limit. We're just talking here. Kind of getting it out there for you guys to ponder on it a little bit. Think about it. I've asked for help in the past for little things. This is kind of something big, and I get that, and I understand. But what a way to do it. So if you buy a kit, you're automatically getting put into a raffle when it comes time of receiving a free one. I'm going to raffle it off like I've done my giveaways in the past. I may even throw in some extra goodies with it. Put my own spin on it. But it's something that I can pay it forward for you paying it forward to enable me to do this. And I get to build one, and that'll be content here. So you'll get to see me build one, and maybe it'll inspire you to buy one. Maybe you'll buy 2 or 3. I don't know. But think about it, and let me know what you think down in the comments about it. Is it something you'd be interested in doing? You'd be helping this channel, helping me to achieve a goal I've been wanting to do, and normally wouldn't be able to do it. But like I said, it's just in the works right now. I'm still waiting for all the fine detail information to come. They're supposed to email it to me, and then once I have that, the next video I do, when I do receive that, I'll incorporate that into the video, and you guys will get the gist of it, and then we can go from there. So I hope it's something that you'd be interested in. 2 parts. You helping me to achieve a goal I've wanted, and taking the chance and the possibility of you getting another kit for free. So for the $160 you spend on the one kit to get your name in the drawing, or whatever you spend on the kit, gives you opportunity of winning a free one. So it's like getting your money back, and then you got 2 models to boot. So think about it. Like I said, let me know down in the comments. Please flood these comments. I love hearing everything. What you think about the shop. Do you like it? Is there something you would change, you do differently? Maybe a certain type of model you want to see built on my channel. I've always said that before. I'm willing to pull anything down, do an open box review on it. If I've built it, I can describe issues I had with it before you go spend your money on it. All that stuff. You just got to communicate with me so I know, because it's not like you're right next door and you can come over and say, hey, Rick, man, won't you build this on your channel? I don't get none of that, because the only way I can communicate is like we're doing right now. And that's what my channel is about, and that's what it's always going to be about. So, again, flood those comments. Let me know what you think about the alpha possibility, what you think about the shop, the builds that we do have going on right now, future builds, what you think about the Frankenstein kit. Not any one particular kit, but every part will be from a different kit. Frankenstein together to make a complete rolling chassis, interior, exterior, engine compartment, the engine, the drivetrain, the whole 9 yards, all be from scrap parts. Maybe a little scratch building in there if it needs it. Very minimal aftermarket. I'm trying to stay away from using any aftermarket. The only thing I'm looking at right now is a distributor and plug wires, possibly for that Frankenstein build. But it could have Camaro leaf springs. It may have a Ford engine. It may have a Dodge engine. It may be a Chrysler body. I don't know yet. But what we'll do is we'll go shopping and we'll start digging through parts. We'll get 2 or 3 of each parts out, and what I can modify to fit and play the part, that's what we'll go with. And we'll build a kit from the ground up to all the way to the finish. You'll come along for it. I'll show you what I did, how I did it, and maybe even end up with a showpiece. You never know. Out of every 10 models I build, maybe 2 are good enough to take to a show. So I'm not perfect. I've learned a lot along the way. I'm still learning every day, and we'll just kind of see and go from there. But a lot in the works, like I've said, over the past 3 years, and now we're about 90% adequate enough to start doing all that. So just let me know, guys. Thumbs up, share the video, leave a comment. If you're curious about anything, my email is always down below. It's this alpha model thing, and the only thing that's going to cause alpha model to pan out is by your involvement. And everything I've tried in the past has failed. I've tried the merch, getting maybe t-shirts made, hats made, mugs. Not enough interest in it to further delve into it, unfortunately. Other channels do it and are very successful with it. It isn't working on my channel. Maybe it's me, the way I go about it, I don't know, but that's why I'm kind of throwing this out here now before I make any commitment to anything. Again, I know at the end of the day they are expensive kits, but I do know as a modeler that we do splurge from time to time. So I'm asking you, pleading with you, if you can find it in your heart and your wallet, to help this channel to create new content, because we have no other sponsors right now. I'd like for that to change too. I would love to get back on board with Hobby Nut Models. I doubt that that'll ever happen. I still hold Mark as a true close friend. We do communicate off and on still. Like I said, I thinned my herd by over 100 kits, and he came down and he bought every one of them. That helped me, and it helped him. So, that line of communication is still open there with him, and we still are an affiliate of Hobby Nut Models. But, I'm going to start putting his link back down in the description. So if you guys want to get something from Hobby Nut Models, all that does is go for shipping on future endeavors with Hobby Nut Models, which still helps. But we don't buy in that level anymore, because we just don't need it. We're just looking for stuff that we don't have, that we've wanted over the years. That's going to be our main focus. And then I think we're going to bring back, once we get into this going, I said we're going to be at 45 minutes. We're at 54 minutes, so we've gone way over. But I hope to be back to not talking so much as devoting one video to just talking. Kind of what we had before, Mental Mondays. Maybe getting back on where we can save all that extra talking about this, that, and the other for a Mental Monday. I like that, and I didn't think it would do really good, and actually those videos did better than almost any of my other videos, other than a few. So I think we're looking to bring that back, and then one other video a week showing progress on whatever we're working on, or maybe a haul that we got. Who knows? But until that time, guys, I thank you for staying with me, for all the great comments, the emails, checking in on me, seeing where my whereabouts is, if I'm okay. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. It blows me away every time I open my email and there's 20 or 30 emails in there with people asking me how am I doing? Is everything okay? When you gonna be making videos again? We miss you. That means a lot, guys, and just as much when you flood these comments and leaving me comments and the thumbs up and sharing the video, watching the video from beginning to end, even though I know some of them are long, but that all helps this channel kind of go up in rankings where a lot of other people that normally wouldn't see it can see it. So just keep that in mind when you watch one of my videos. Bear with me, because it's all leading somewhere. So until then, guys, you guys have a great day, a great week. We'll see you next week. By then we should be, like I said, almost done with this F100, or getting close to it anyways, and more done in the shop, and I'll get you caught up on all that then. Until then, this is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.